When you hear what I've got to say, I'm sure you won't be able to turn your head away.
Back with another episode of The Concrete, episode 24 of The Concrete. Another special guest, Beauty Rebellion, social media personality, entrepreneur, just a whole inspiration for the ladies. Nauteya.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate you for coming on.
Yes.
Okay, so if I didn't introduce you well enough, let the people know what you do and who you are.
Well, my name is Nauteya Whyee. I am a social media influencer. I do YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. I do makeup full time. I'm a cosmetologist. So I do a lot of things, but all in all, I'm an entrepreneur and a social media influencer.
Okay. So every episode, I like to start it off with an icebreaker. I noticed that you you had to be confident to do what you do. Also, you got to be mentally and physically ready in everything you do. But I know it's different. Like, you work with YouTube and Instagram. So what goes into your whole process, and what platform do you like better, Instagram or YouTube?
I think that's a good question. I prefer Instagram because it's short form. You can literally take a picture on your phone, share it to your platform. YouTube is more long form, whereas it's a lot more work that goes into it, prepping for it, the filming of the videos, coming up with the content first of all, filming it, editing it. The editing process is a lot. So I would say I prefer Instagram, but if we talk about more long term, then YouTube is more efficient.
Okay. And how long you been on YouTube? Okay.
I've been on YouTube now since I was 21, and now I'm 25, so about 4 years.
Okay. You a vet at this thing already.
Something like that.
Okay. So as far as like where you from, your upbringing, as far as that, like how did that, like how where you from, your upbringing, family oriented?
Well, I am from Chester, PA. I'm from right here, born and raised. I'm Liberian American. My mom is Black American, and my dad is 100% Liberian. So, yeah.
Okay.
I am family oriented though. I love family. I'm always with my family.
Okay, that's good. So what made you start doing makeup? Like,
I think I tell this story all the time. If you're familiar with my platform, I tell this story a lot. But I have a best friend who passed away from breast cancer a few years back, Janai Banks. She's actually from Chester, PA too.
Yes.
And when I started out like in fashion. So fashion was my thing. I was already dabbling in like hair and beauty. But my 9th grade year of high school, Janai pulled me to the side. She was already into the beauty thing. And she pulled me to the side. She's just like, let me do your makeup. And she did it one day. I loved it. And since that day, I just wanted to perfect my craft and make it a thing. And because she's not here anymore, I just feel like I'm doing it for the both of us. Like, I got to push forward for her too.
Okay, and that basically was leading me into my next question. Who inspired you? So that basically, like that situation and your friend dealing with the cancer situation, that ultimately inspired you to do something. It created something great.
Definitely created a monster.
Okay.
Janai was also an influencer before she passed. So she was doing, we were doing this thing together. And it's just unfortunate that she wasn't able to finish her legacy. So I just felt like that's who kind of pushed me to continue to keep doing this.
Okay. So as far as like the makeup products and stuff like that you use, like what type of makeup products you use? Because everybody, like, I know some females don't like to give up their, I don't know what you call it, like the recipe or what y'all do, but like what type of products do you use?
Well, I am sponsored by Fenty Beauty. I'll start off with that.
Okay,
so I love Fenty Beauty products, everything Rihanna. I feel like she's so consistent. She's a powerhouse, and she's an inspiration to women like me in this industry. So seeing her be so innovative with her products, I love using her products and seeing what she comes up with. I'm also the face of Black Radiance, and I'm not just saying that because I'm the face of them. I really do love their products. So, and it's Black owned.
Okay, that's always a positive. Black
Always.
owned. That's what's up. So as far as like starting up makeup tutorials on YouTube and stuff like that, how did it feel when women actually was embracing it? Like, cause I know like makeup, like a lot of men, like we care for it, but it's not big. It's not as big as to y'all as it is to us.
Right.
So like, what do women get out of your makeup tutorials that make them focus on it and make them like feel so much better about what they doing and confident?
For me, my brand is built on women's empowerment. Like, I love uplifting women and making them feel good. So when I first started putting out even just makeup posts of myself and people started to gravitate to it, it just was a beautiful feeling, because coming from where we come from, like, it's not really embraced to know a lot about a craft. You get told like, oh, you're a know-it-all or something like that. But to finally know my craft and for other people to gravitate to it, I think it was a beautiful thing.
Right. So you basically like, you feel like you mastered it now.
I think so. I think I'm getting there. Everybody has like, ways to go. I'm still learning, but I definitely think that I'm almost there.
Okay, and as far as like teaching, like you do the makeup tutorials on YouTube, but like do you do like classes for the ladies and stuff like that?
Yes, I do. I actually do makeup classes. I was doing a tour. It was a 7-state tour right before the pandemic started, and we had to stop. So yeah, I do teach classes, and I also now just started teaching courses on how to become a social media influencer and how to grow your platform on social media and make money from it. So just taking it in different avenues, but yeah.
Okay, and like how much would something like this cost, like for like your customers if they wanted to do it?
So the one-on-one classes, I do those year round. You can book those at any time, and those are usually $400. But if I do my group classes with like, full groups, the prices do vary.
Okay.
Like, it's different.
Okay. So, what is a social media influencer? Let me know. Like, I hear it go around a lot in this generation, but what is it to you? Like, you actually are one. So what is it to you?
Yeah, I think that the misconception of social media influencers is very big. People think that being an influencer is just like posting pictures all day or just like getting content and creating content. It is that, but it's so much more than that. Like, being an influencer is being able to grow a tribe, I call it a tribe, or like a community of people, like-minded people that can always come to you if you're in a specific niche. Like, they can come to you and they know that they're going to get good advice from you. Like, I feel like that's what an influencer is. Somebody with a platform who, like me, for example, I'm a beauty influencer. So I share beauty tips, and whenever people come to my page, they know that this girl got the tips for makeup. She got the tips for beauty, whatever it is. So I feel like, it's just the influence over that community that you've built.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So being a social media influencer, it gives you like different avenues to collaborate with people and brands and stuff like that. You already named 2 of the brands. You said Fenty brand, Rihanna
Fenty
brand.
Beauty.
Yeah, Fenty Beauty, and the other one was
Black Radiance.
Yeah, but I know it's more. Like when I was doing my little research, I know you do more. Like you work with a lot of brands.
Yeah, I do.
So like, what other brands? Like other than the like, I feel like those 2 name brand.
Mm-hmm.
Other than like local people, up and coming people, like who else do you work with?
I work with a lot of people. Well, the Black Radiance one is actually in Walmart. So any Walmart that you go to or any store that sells Black Radiance, you'll see it. But I've worked with Sir John, who is actually Beyonce's makeup artist. I think that's something to brag about.
Yeah, that's
He did my makeup a couple years ago, and it was for a Luminous Cosmetics brand for Lion King. Luminous Cosmetics is not like a huge brand yet, so I think that was one of them.
Okay, that's what's up. So being a social media influencer took you a lot of places. I know it did. So what's one of the places you could have never imagined you would have been if it wasn't for this?
Just like those avenues I told you, like working with Beyonce's makeup artist, somebody that did Beyonce's makeup, I think that was one of the more huge ones. And even just seeing myself, like my face in stores, that's something I always dreamed of.
Right.
So I did a collab a few years ago where my face was actually on New York Times Square.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's one thing I would have never imagined. And
okay, that's what's up. And that's definitely big. Like, you work with two icons, they're brands basically, Beyonce and Rihanna. Like, you can't get no bigger than that, I feel like. So as far as like growing up, like, what was your path? Like, what did you think you was gonna do? Like, growing up, what did you want to do? Because I know this wasn't always the dream. This is like one of those things that you just kept going with it. Yeah.
Yep.
So what was your dreams growing up?
Growing up, like I said, I was into fashion. Like, fashion was my thing. I still have my drawings from being 6 and 7 years old, where I just like made this whole little design company called Tangy Fashions. I used to draw my designs out.
Okay, what went into that name, Tangy Fashions?
I don't even know. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna make up nothing crazy right now.
Oh, okay.
It's just something I came up with off the top, and I thought it was cool back then.
Okay.
You know, being that young, I thought it was a cool name. But yeah, I thought I was going to be a fashion designer. Even once I got to high school, 9th through 12th grade, I went to STEM. And I would put on the fashion shows for the city. I would like get models together in the high school and just put on fashion shows. So I really thought that was going to be my avenue. But then, you know, I kind of just transitioned.
I feel like you can still do that right now,
I still can.
And I feel like you got more influence right now to really make it happen. So I think that'd be a nice idea.
It might be something I bring back.
Right. So, Beauty Rebellion Collections. What is Beauty Rebellion Collections, and what does it have to offer?
So Beauty Rebellion Collection is my brand. I started it maybe 5 years ago. We sell custom units, which is wigs, like custom wigs. We sell false lashes. And underneath a Beauty Rebellion Collection is the boutique. We sell apparel. We sell jewelry. These cute little nose cuffs that I have on now.
Oh, that's what that's called? A nose cuff? Oh, that's what
So it's non-invasive. You don't have to pierce your nose or anything. You can literally just put it on and take it off.
Okay.
And I have a lot of different designs of them. So we sell these, and in the boutique we sell apparel. So yeah.
Okay. That's a lot. You definitely got a lot going on with Beauty Rebellion. And what made you name it Beauty Rebellion?
So first I was Fashion Rebellion. So anybody that been following me for 5-10 years plus, I was Fashion Rebellion first.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah, it's coming back to me now. Definitely was fashion.
So I thought that I was going to do fashion. Like, that was my thing ever since I was little. Anybody that know me, like, that grew up with me, I used to make my own clothes. I used to sell, like, the little distressed jeans back in the day to anybody that would buy them from me. Like, that was just my thing. But once I started YouTube, and my first YouTube video I put up, it instantly got monetized because it got a lot of viewers. So I was just like, okay, people are realizing that, or they're recognizing me more for makeup than fashion, and I didn't want to put myself in a box, just being Fashion Rebellion. So I was like, all right, let me transition into beauty, all things beauty. Broader, Yep, and then I could still do fashion. But
that was a nice business decision. I feel like that was the great decision. So as far as like, you're a woman, you're an entrepreneur, you got a lot of stuff going on, but at the same time, like, you gotta have a relationship, or you gotta have some free time for yourself. Like, how do you do it? How do you be able to balance being a young woman entrepreneur to having a relationship, or even having like a life outside of this?
Right. It's definitely a balance. For all my women watching, put your business first. I will say that, because all the rest of that stuff will follow. Like, if you are progressing in your business and a man sees you progressing and doing your thing, I think that's sexier to a man than to just be like trying and then you working on a relationship and you too focused on that. I feel like it definitely has to be a balance. I'm not saying don't have a love life, because I would be wrong to say that, but I would just say focus on your business, because you know that's gonna take you places. And if a man really love you, he gonna stand beside you regardless. So yeah, for me, it's just all about balance. I'm not really focusing too much on that right now. Just focusing on my business.
But I think you said it right. Like, I feel like as a man, you hit it right on the nose. Like, you should want a female that's really focused on what she got going on, because it's just like you said, it's sexy. So I feel like I 100% agree with that.
Yes.
So as far as like your following and stuff like that, like, all right, you said the relationship thing, you gotta work on you first. But being who you are and what you accomplished so far, like, do you ever notice men, like, because some men, like, feel discouraged when a female of your stature or something like that. So have you ever got that vibe, like,
Yeah,
maybe he's scared or something like that?
Definitely,
Because
but
of him?
I don't think that I'm like a unapproachable type of person. I'm really down to earth. I'm very humble. I try to keep it that way. So I don't think that guys would be intimidated. Well, they do sometimes, but I don't think they really would be intimidated because I don't really give off that vibe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel that. So, just like you said, it's a balance and everything. How do you deal with your stress? Like, it must get frustrated being a woman, business owner, entrepreneur. You got all these things going, working with different brands. So when you want to relieve your stress, do you meditate or do you do it with physical fitness?
I do it both. So I'm an outdoors type of person. I hike, I do yoga.
That's why I asked.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I
I work out at least 3 times a week. I'm trying to get on the healthy tip as far as eating. But yeah, it's definitely, you have to have a balance. So the yoga keeps me stress free. If I had a long day, I will meditate at the end of the day. I pray, and that keeps me grounded. That keeps me balanced.
Definitely, you definitely got to have that balance somewhere in there that to relieve that stress, because it's definitely stressful.
Definitely.
So it's difficult being an entrepreneur. What's some obstacles that you hit you that you had to face with? Like, all right, I'm doing all these things, but you might have had a time where it was just like, all right, is this the right thing I'm doing?
Yes. So I am considered a social media influencer because I share my everyday life on social media. But now, being a social media influencer for so long, because I started at a time where it was just getting started, like 2013, 2014. So now, almost a decade later, like, I wanted to transition from being a social media influencer to a business owner. Like, I no longer wanted to make other brands rich, and I'm just getting that initial, payment. So I decided to start my own business, my own company, where I'm selling some of the products that I've seen other companies get rich off of me for, which was hair, lashes, apparel, everything in between. I just said I wanted to do that. And I think that was like a really big transition for me, because I was used to getting that instant payment from those companies. But now I'm a company, and now I'm reaching out to influencers to promote my brand, and I'm reaching out and I'm, learning the back end of what those businesses had to deal with. So I think that's my biggest obstacle right now. Just trying to push through, even though sometimes it may get hard. Sometimes, you might not see those initial sales. When I first started, I was not seeing the sales. Even though I had the platform, I had to work that much harder because now it's my own product. So I think that was like my biggest obstacle. Now I'm getting there. But like at first, it was just like putting the products out there, making sure that they are worth being sold, because that's number one, quality over anything.
Right.
And yeah. Just building that.
That's what's up. And it's definitely ups and downs to this business thing.
Yeah.
So another thing I want to ask, like, a lot of women watch you. I know, just like you said, you got the obstacles and stuff like that, but a lot of women watch you for motivation. Especially you being from here, it's not a lot of women doing what you're doing, and it's a lot of women that probably look at you as motivation. You never know it. Like, what would you tell them? Like, not what would you tell them? Like, how does that pressure feel, knowing that other women look at you for motivation? Not what would you tell them, but how does that pressure feel?
I love that. I love it. I love the pressure. I feel like it pushes me to even be more of a motivation. Like you said, being from somewhere like where we're from, it's not a lot of people that start these new avenues and actually become successful in them. So being somebody who other women can look up to, that feeds me. That gives me like my joy, honestly.
Definitely. And I feel like because it's probably like a lot of women that watch you for motivation, but they probably want to do the same thing, just scared.
Exactly.
I feel like that's where we from. It's just like everybody got a lot of talent. It's people just scared to use it, or scared to
or
do
scared
certain
of what
things.
other people might think about it.
It's always been like that.
Yep. And I will definitely say, like, to piggyback off of that, like, if anybody is watching and they're interested in doing something, it doesn't matter how many people out there are doing what you want to do. Go for it and be consistent, because that's what, like, separates the goods from the greats. You can be good at something and not be consistent, and your talent will go to waste. But if you are consistent, even if you're not the best, you'll get there, but just don't stop. Like, just continue to do it.
Definitely. So what would you say is the number one key to having a successful business? Like, I feel like, looking from the outside, I feel like doing what you're doing, you actually, I seen you start at a place and I seen how you got here. But I feel like it's so much more you can do. But what do you think was the number one key up to this point?
It was just consistency.
That's what you think?
I definitely think it was definitely. Because, like I said, if I wasn't consistent, like, I started really young, and if I wasn't consistent up until now, who knows if half of the people that seen me or the opportunities that I got, they would have seen me if I wasn't, like, being consistent at it. I feel like that's what got me here, and that's one thing that I strongly suggest anybody to do. It don't matter what you're doing. Consistency is going to make you great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as, like, your brand in the future, like, what do you have planned coming up, or any special events for the people that watch your makeup tutorials, the people you influence, the people that follow you? Like, what's the next events you got planned, or something special you got coming up?
Okay, so back in 2017, I put on an event called the Photoshoot Extravaganza, which was like an event that I put together for young entrepreneurs in the Philly, Delaware, Jersey area, just to connect. We had everything from photographers to models to makeup artists, hairstylists, whatever it is. If you have a craft and you want to showcase it, you could come there, get endless photos. It's basically like a networking event, but the makeup artists will pick a model to do their makeup. Photographers, they get to shoot whoever's there. So you get to network with as many people as you can that you probably wouldn't have worked with otherwise. So tickets are usually about $25. We're actually bringing that event back yearly now. That's one thing that we'll be bringing back in the summertime, as well as the makeup tour that will be coming back in the fall. And just everything else that I'm doing, we just pushing it even more.
Right.
Yeah.
As you should. I'm definitely looking forward to all those things.
Yes.
All right, now I wanted to get into our special sponsors, Ball Skills Smoothies. Check them out. Go on Instagram, like, comment, hit them up, see what's going on. Organic smoothies. I drink these Jones all the time. They perfect for you. I don't know if you ever had one before, but I also have one for you.
Oh, yeah.
Pick which one you want. The little island or the green gizmo. It's all organic stuff. It's all.
I'm into the green, so I'm gonna take the green one.
Okay. Yeah, so if y'all want Ball Skills Smoothie, just make sure y'all check them out on Instagram at Ball Skills.
Yeah.
All right. So I told you, like, I've been paying attention that a lot of females, like, tap in with the podcast, even though I never noticed until I just start looking at it. Like, people, like, girls would be asking me, like, why you don't have a young lady up there or something like that. But I'm like, I did, and I never thought, like, I didn't think it was getting the traction that I was expecting.
Again, consistency.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was listening to my viewers and stuff like that. So, like, for all the little girls, like, just like we said, we from Chester, like, it's a lot of little girls that look up to you. Like, if they wanted to start a business like yours or something like that, we talked about consistency, but, like, what's some of the early steps that they need to take to build the business? It's all, I feel like with anything you're going to need the consistency, but what's some of the small things that they can get right now to get their business off the ground?
I'll name like 3. I think the number one thing is do your research. Whatever you're trying to go into, make sure you research it, research your competition, research everything within that field, so that you know once you put out something in that field, you know where it's going. Test out your products. If it's a product-based company that you want to start or business that you want to start, test it out yourself first. Get your local, like your friends, your family, to test it out and give you real authentic feedback, because you don't want to put out a product and it's not that good. It may be good to you, but somebody else tries and they're like, it's not that good. So I think number 1, do your research, practice, test it out, and then go for it. And then there comes in the consistency.
And I also heard you say you gotta be able to like people for to test it out. You gotta be open to constructive criticism. That's one thing we deal with a lot. You have to be open to constructive criticism with any business. I feel like with anything, you gotta be open for that because if you're not open to it, you're never gonna learn. So this is episode 24 of The Concrete. I'm here with
Nauteya Whyee, Beauty Rebellion.
Appreciate you for coming on. Y'all keep tuning in, keep liking, keep subscribing. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having me.